Oh my stars. I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot in there. Motivational Taren out. Good morning, Trainiacs. So far so good on the new vlogging camera. I am really impressed with the quality of like what you see. Got all the little whiskers in the beard. Footage is smooth, detailed. I do have to get a little hat to help you out and improve the audio. Today when we started digging into the footage from the morning, whew, oh my stars. See you never, GoPro. Actually, we're still gonna keep the GoPro around, but we're gonna let the GoPro do what the GoPro does. Good at the action footage, maybe some of the time lapses. Pool was quiet today. That's all I got. Tallied that up and that was, I think, 13.4 kilometers since Sunday morning. Shoulder said no more. It's so nice out in Winnipeg again. Do y'all remember a couple weeks ago when I did a presentation about social media to a bunch of business owners? Well, I've got part 2 of that today. To a different group of business owners, worked out the kinks. I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot in there. Another day is over at the wonderful world of post. I've mentioned in a couple of the most recent vlogs about overall health, and namely that I used to be a big fat man. I'd been overweight most of my life. Our family, while my mom certainly had a really big appreciation for health and well-being, there was never a big culture in our family of eating really healthy, of being active, taking care of our body, taking care of our mind. So when I became 18 years old and got a job, got into the routine of going to McDonald's every couple of days, having fast food, eating pizzas, drinking a lot on the weekend. And at my peak there in my early 20s, I couldn't run the length of one house. And it's just been in the past few years that I don't even associate myself really at all with being an overweight person, somebody that struggles with their weight. It's taken from the age of mid-20s when I said, that's it, I don't want to be overweight anymore, until probably about 10 years later that I now don't associate myself with being an overweight person. It all started when I went back to university. I was 22 years old when I started university. I was at my peak drinking, being unhealthy, living life very irresponsibly. But in between my morning classes and my afternoon class, I had a really big block of time, and I figured I would go to the gym and just do something with it. It took me from about 215 pounds down to around 200. I had not a clue what I was doing, but just the fact that I was doing something was enough to lose a little bit of weight. 2 years later, I broke up with a girlfriend. I was going to the gym and I knew that that released nervous energy. So because I had so much, I decided to start going to the gym a lot more. And then I was starting to go out to the bar with friends who were really fit, like jacked with abs and muscles, and went to the gym a lot. And I noticed, holy smokes, girls aren't talking to me, but they're talking to them. Something clicked as a mid-20-year-old at that point, around 24 years old. I just wanted to look good in pictures. So I went and I thought I was gonna be a bodybuilder, and I started eating plain chicken breast, raw oatmeal, tons of protein shakes. I started going to the gym and lifting weights really heavy about 7 times a week, doing like boring cardio on a Stairmaster. That got me then down from around 200 pounds down to around like 175. It was a really unhealthy 175. I struggled to keep it down at that 175. I thought that to be fit. You had to diet really hard, lift weights. It just wasn't enjoyable. I eventually got hurt lifting all these heavy weights. I started walking on the treadmill, became pretty boring, so I started going on the stationary bike. So just to mix it up, I started swimming and biking and running. And then there was a friend named Jacques, who's doing the marathon swim with us, who was really good at triathlons in university. He'd always tell me about his triathlon training. So I asked him, do you think I could do a triathlon? And he told me, just go into one. Say yes. Exactly what I say to all of you. Say yes to that first triathlon. And I did a try. Instantly got me hooked. The fact that I was triathlon training and it was motivating and it was fun, it became way more regular. I liked going out and running and getting the wind in my face on the bike. I hated the swim. That took a few years to come around. All of a sudden, my weight started leveling out at that 175 level. And that happened for a few years until my dad actually got tested positive for celiac. One weekend, I went and hung out with the family at the lake and I forgot to bring food, so I just ate all of his gluten-free food. I lost a few pounds and I felt really good. So I went gluten-free for a month and I felt light. My stomach didn't gurgle. I wasn't as sore. I could recover easier from workouts, so I could start training more. I have been tested and am not celiac and I'm not allergic to gluten. I just know that I feel better. And then recently, within the last year, we've started incorporating a lot more vegan-based meals because my mom's side of the family has a ton of heart issues. So I'm very conscious of my overall health, my mental well-being, all of that stuff. And now I sit somewhere in between about 155 and 160 pounds. I don't count calories. I don't feel like I'm on a diet. I don't worry about the amount of workouts I get in based off of the amount of food I eat. I barely drink any more than a little bit of wine. And if you had told me all of these things 10 years ago, that I'd be a triathlete doing half Ironmans and placing well in international Ironman races, and that I would be running a 1 hour, 28 minute half marathon, and that I'd be eating vegan meals and meditating in the morning, I would have thought that you were completely nuts. All of this together, yeah, probably sounds like a bit of a humble brag. What I mean to communicate when I say everyone, every single one of you can do a triathlon, can do a marathon, can do a half marathon, can do a marathon swim. I know you can do it because I went from being not able to run the length of a house, scared of open water, week-long benders all across the country. I literally won a golden wheelchair for being the drunkest man in Canada at a conference once, to being the person I am now. That's why I say that everyone who wants to get in the habit of saying yes and changing their lifestyle can do it. Go out there and pick something that you want to tackle, say yes to it, drop kick the fear of saying yes to it, and change your life. There. Motivational Taren out.